Gao Gao, China's largest counterfeit manufacturer, is actually saying he'll repair the molds. It's surprising that the RG Gundam third-party KO battle has been going on for so long. It really does remind me of the Gundam aerial battle a few months ago. Of course, besides being cheap, Gao Gao is also associated with poor parts, poor assembly, and being difficult to handle. Who would have thought that Gao Gao would one day be reliable and have a smooth assembly? Hello everyone. Welcome to the Model Express channel. Today, we're bringing you Gao Gao's RX93FF Fukuoka statue for new Gundam. First, the outer packaging uses a colorful box, and it's basically a direct copy of the official one. This move is incredibly bold. I'm sure everyone has seen Gao Gao's new Gundam many times, so here's a quick overview of the parts. The main difference is the color change. The white still has a matte finish, just like the High Nu. The High Nu is still being adjusted, and I plan to do a comparison with the double funnel new Gundam later. This time, the Fukuoka statue Ver has some new outer armor designs. There are two front faces, and you can see a fairly clear distinction. Which one you choose during assembly depends on your preference. There are also two antennas. The main difference is the size of the openings on both sides, but the sharpness is acceptable. And because it has a built-in matte finish, the water ripples on the parts aren't very noticeable. They're practically invisible from a distance, which is a plus. Citron has made significant progress on the faceplate. However, the engravings on the left side aren't very clear, and there are some burrs on the bottom that need to be repaired manually. The blue repainted parts have defects, two parts of the lower leg armor have injection molding issues, and the parts on the chest have scratches. I've already communicated with the manufacturer, and they will fix the issues raised earlier. The repair speed is incredibly fast. But if even Gao Gao can fix these, let's see how other third-party manufacturers handle subsequent production and service. Let's take a look at the new cannon parts. The overall number of parts isn't very large, considering it's just a cannon. However, because it's a new set of parts, the sharpness of the sprue is significantly better than the parts in the main body. Unfortunately, the sprue gates aren't concealed, which is a bit of a shame. There will definitely be endless sanding of the sprue gates later on. After 4 hours of assembly, the Gao Gao RX93FF Fukuoka statue for new Gundam successfully stood on my desk. The overall look is quite interesting, with a slight bandai style. Assembly requires some force, but not to the point of needing pliers. Some joints are slightly tight, so be careful when handling them. Gao Gao's new models have indeed improved in both assembly experience and quality, which is good news for enthusiasts. The changes to the frame aren't significant. The main difference is in the color scheme. These three are all Gao Gao RG new Gundams: the double funnel new Gundam, the High Nu Gundam, and the Fukuoka new Gundam. Compared to the original new Gundam, the contrast of the color-separated frame has been eliminated, and the overall design is entirely mechanical black. Additionally, I don't really recommend assembling the frame first and then putting on the outer armor, because sometimes after assembling the frame, you may need to remove some parts before you can install the outer armor. During this process, there may be a risk of broken parts or white marks. I suggest that you follow the instructions for assembly. Regarding articulation, firstly, the head sculpt is quite well proportioned. Although two brims were provided, I installed them according to the part numbers in the instructions. I hand-painted the eyes myself for touch-ups, and the Citron sculpt is very well proportioned. Except for some roughness, there are no other issues. The face panel lines still have some problems. The head rotates 360 degrees without any issues, and the shoulders also rotate 360 degrees without any problems. The arms can be fully raised, the shoulder armor can be extended, the upper arms can rotate 360 degrees, and the arms can be bent to touch the shoulders. The articulation is quite good. The wrist joints also have some articulation. The waist has almost no forward tilt angle, but the backward tilt is quite good. Stretching the waist allows for a very good forward tilt effect. The cockpit in the chest area is sculpted, but the hatch on the restored version is really too tight and not easy to open. There are also some details inside the cockpit, and the red front hatch can also be opened upwards, but it's too difficult, so I won't demonstrate it. The waist can swing slightly left and right, but there's nothing to do when the waist rotates 360 degrees. The leg kick can reach a very good angle, and the hip joint includes a pull-down joint. Opening the rear joint lock allows for increased leg mobility by pulling the leg down. The side kick is approximately 90 degrees, which is also a very good angle. The back kick, due to the interference of the skirt armor, can only be raised to about 45 degrees. The thigh rotates 360 degrees without obstruction, and the leg can be bent so that the shin touches the thigh. The original knee flexion linkage effect is also reproduced, and the hydraulic rods are clearly displayed. The thigh outer armor linkage sliding armor effect is also shown. The foot armor crack linkage effect is also well represented, and the ankle grounding joint has a very good range of motion. The new cannon has a linkage effect. It is indeed quite tight and requires force to pull the tail to unfold, and the two side wings have an unfolding effect. The appearance is a true reproduction of the official design. As usual, let's start with the drawbacks before the pros. The main drawback of this RG Fukuoka statue ver new Gundam is that it's incredibly tight. The entire body is made up of pull-out and linked joints. While this tightness increases grip, it also significantly increases the smoothness of assembly and disassembly, as well as the risk of damage. Another drawback is the overall lack of quality, but this is typical of Koei Tecmo manufacturers. Some details aren't handled very well. Then there's the issue we mentioned earlier. The blue parts on the lower leg armor have obvious problems, which the manufacturer says will be fixed. Next, as shown in the video, there's a mold line on the chest. This will also be fixed. Also, the monitor on the chest is a bit too big. I had to trim it and force it in. Upon closer inspection, there are some large gaps in the head that cannot be closed. Finally, there's the issue of some loose parts. The chest armor parts are excessively loose, and they easily come off with a slight bend. Having discussed the drawbacks, let's talk about the advantages. First of all, the grip is excellent. We'll stick to the old method of swinging one leg forcefully. Then, holding both legs simultaneously, he can lie flat and suspended in the air. Violent shaking test. Basically, there were no parts falling off. The model underwent a freefall from both the front and back. Only the loose chest part one mentioned earlier fell off. The overall integrity is excellent. So, it's perfectly fine to handle and pose. The classic standing pose of the Fukuoka new Gundam is quite cool. The second advantage is that Gao Gao has achieved almost 100% fidelity to the original Bandai model, including the color separation of the parts and the nesting of the colored parts in the feet. While the heel of a regular new Gundam is a single, complete part, the Fukuoka new Gundam has two separate parts. The panel lines and details of the original parts are also faithfully reproduced, which is commendable. Finally, the Gao Gao set includes a stand. Although it's a basic, standard stand and the quality isn't particularly high, it's better than nothing. The model surface has a matte finish, so watermarks are barely visible from a distance, which is a plus. Multiple decals are also included, showing that Gao Gao is truly improving. Previously, they never included decals. Could it be that Gao Gao changed bosses and got a new general manager with a change of heart? The stickers also differ from those on regular new Gundams. Also, many kits come in two colors, allowing players to customize according to their preferences. I used the original Fukuoka new Gundam colors for a more accurate recreation. Players can easily get a different color version, and there are so many parts that they can be used on other new Gundams. Another minor drawback is the lack of complete funnel parts. Only half of the parts were included. This is because of the funnel's frame and bottom cover, making it impossible to recreate the funnel. However, if you previously purchased other Gao Gao new Gundam versions, they included an extra set of funnel parts, which can be used with the Fukuoka new Gundam. Aside from the newly designed cannon, the weapon accessories are identical to the original new Gundam. It's just a simple color change, so I won't show them here. Finally, let's summarize briefly. This RG Fukuoka statue ver new Gundam, aside from minor flaws, is generally a pretty good product. The fit and tightness are quite good. The matte finish is also a plus. Currently, the market price is $6.50, and some shops are offering it for $6. This is good news for non-Bandai Gundam enthusiasts. In terms of appearance, I'd give it a 7 out of 10. The panel lines on the head could be improved. There are some issues upon closer inspection. The color separation on the body is very accurate. It's a KO product, and the fact that they didn't add unnecessary parts is commendable. The assembly experience is also a 7 out of 10. Aside from some slightly tight joints, no pliers were needed. However, there are personal factors involved. Everyone's assembly ability is different, so the above rating is a very subjective evaluation. In terms of overall integrity, I'd give it an 8 out of 10. Because the joints are tightened during assembly, both the grip and the overall integrity are excellent. Even after a violent shaking test, no major problems occurred. Okay, that concludes this review. Please follow my channel, like and share the video, and see you in the next video.